Hey there, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Rachel Garceau with your First Alert Weather Plus forecast on this first full week of the month of July. Coming off of a very toasty 4th of July weekend that did bring in the hottest temperatures of the year so far in Boise. We hit 97 on the 4th of July and 98 on the 4th of July Sunday. Heat remains our big weather headline as we go into this new work week. Slim storm chances do enter the picture from overnight Sunday through the day Monday, but really it's sizzling sunshine that takes over long term and remains the big weather story for the next week. So you heard me mention those hot temperatures from the holiday weekend. We didn't hit 100 in the City of Trees, but places like Ontario and Mountain Home did over the weekend. A far cry from the weekend before. Remember when we wrapped up June with high temperatures in the 60s? Would you believe our morning lows are warmer than that in the coming days? So look at our 10-day high temp trend. Remember, until the 4th of July weekend, the longest, hottest stretch we've had was 3 days in a row of temperatures at or above 90 degrees in Boise. That was that final week of June before that big cool down for the final weekend. Looking at the next 10 days, you can see here, I expect every afternoon in the Boise area to see highs in the 90s. Now, yes, we will fluctuate a bit here and there. Looks like Thursday right now is our quote unquote coolest day of the extended period, but that even still is a 90-degree day. And here's the kicker. As we look at the start of the work week and then the following work week, there are several days where I expect our overnight lows to not even dip below 70 degrees. And so this is what makes extreme heat a little bit more dangerous. When we don't cool off at night, it just keeps that heat in play for the morning. So it's much harder to find a window of time, even in the early morning or late night hours, where it's comfortable to be outside and safe to be outside and do strenuous activities for an extended amount of time. So my mantra this week is, if you are an outdoor exerciser or if you love to get the walks in with your four-legged family member, as early in the day or as late in the day as possible is going to be your best bet. So here's our weather setup. High pressure is really the dominant weather feature that's going to take over. It's over the Four Corners region. Early in the week, it will expand to the north and the west as the week progresses. But there's two little weather wrinkles we're watching that will impact that ridge and weaken it just a little bit a couple times this week. The first is on Monday. There's what we call a short wave disturbance that will lift northward out of Nevada. That will trigger enough atmospheric instability and energy, and combined with the moisture that's present, that we'll have a quick little round of off and on storms here and there on Monday. Then another little system skirting by to the north is what will dip our temperatures on Thursday, but I don't expect that one to bring any storm activity. Maybe just some breezy winds off and on throughout the week. So in the short term, as we walk through Futurecast, Monday morning, some of our central mountain locations may wake up to a couple rumbles of thunder, a quick little rain shower, likely cloudy skies in Boise as well. That's what will keep temperatures so warm Monday morning. The cloud cover overhead will keep a lid on that overnight heat loss. I do think Monday we'll see plenty of sunshine, but still in the afternoon, as that sun emerges, there's a possibility in the Magic Valley and the Treasure Valley and the Central Mountains that a couple storms could fire off. Gusty winds, quick bursts of rain, even some small hail, all possible, though they should clear out quickly. Really, Monday for most folks, I think, is a sunny, hot to warm day, depending on your location. Now, there's some models hinting again on Tuesday with just enough lingering moisture that we could see a quick little spot shower rolling through on Tuesday. I don't have high confidence in that. I think we will see just abundant sunshine for most areas, but certainly can't rule it out as we continue to have just a slightly dynamic atmosphere behind that exiting shortwave system. As we look at our upper level pattern, the bigger picture here, there's that ridge of high pressure I was talking about, and this is now on Tuesday. We have an area of low pressure that's going to just skirt by to the north of us. It will suppress the ridge enough to cause those temperatures to dip maybe 3 to 4 degrees on Thursday and bring some breezy winds in, as we'll be between high pressure and low pressure, and that tends to tighten up that surface pressure gradient, aka create some breezy conditions. But that's about the only impact. That system lifts to the north, and then this very strong ridge of high pressure will amplify northward. In fact, by the coming weekend, some models are hinting at widespread triple-digit heat across southern Idaho. I haven't gone to 100 yet in my forecast for Boise, but I would not be surprised if we modified those numbers as the week progresses. So looking at forecast high temperatures across the entire region on Monday, It's going to be a scorcher to kick off the work week as we all go back to the grind after the long holiday weekend. You can see even Portland is up to 90 degrees, Bend pushing 90. We'll see 93 in Boise, up near 90 in the Magic Valley, and eastern Idaho, even Casper, Wyoming in the low 90s early on. We keep the heat in play across central and southern Idaho. Interior Oregon starts to warm, but you can see Seattle and Portland cool a bit on Tuesday. And then because of that low pressure system that I talked about moving by to the north, that will send a shot of cool air to the Pacific Northwest along the coast. A very comfortable Wednesday. Seattle and Portland in the 70s, but that's really the only spot that sees any influence from that cooler air. We'll still be in the 90s on Wednesday, and on Thursday we'll lose only about 3 degrees of warmth. If you want to beat the heat, you have to head far west this week to get those cooler conditions. Looking at our Central Mountain locations, it'll still be warm, nowhere near as scorching as the valley, so maybe a midweek camping trip, if you didn't get one in over the 4th of July weekend, would not be a bad idea. We'll be in the 80s from Tuesday through Friday in places like McCall. Monday will be the coolest day simply because we have those higher storm chances. Again, off and on storms. I don't see any sort of a washout day here on Monday for any area, but the higher you go in elevation early in the work week, the higher that storm coverage will be. Just means it's more likely you'll encounter some storm activity, but it's certainly not a sure thing. Many Central Mountain locations will likely not see storms on Monday, though many could. All right, looking at the 7-day outlook for the Twin Falls area, same setup. We could see a couple stray storms firing off and on throughout the day Monday. Some light rain possible outside of the storms, though I think sunshine and dry conditions win out for the most part to kick off the work week. Then the heat is on. You can see we spend most of our week in the 90s in Twin Falls. We dip out of it briefly on Thursday. Sunny skies remain, and then a hot weekend coming in. We'll be in the mid-90s in Twin for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Good 10 degrees hotter than is typical for this point in the summer season. And we already talked about Boise's temperatures. We'll see those highs into the 90s every afternoon. I'm thinking Friday, Saturday, Sunday are the days to watch as we see that high pressure amplifying. Once we know its intensity a little better as we get closer to the weekend, we may see those temps boost even further. Regardless, the takeaway here, it is going to be a scorcher of a week. So make sure you pack along lots of water and lots of sunscreen as you're out and about, and seek out shade or air conditioning as often as possible, as the heat of the day will be blazing and almost unbearable for too long out there this week. Thanks so much for tuning into this First Alert Weather Plus forecast. We'll catch you next time.